The film begins with Jack chasing Davis on the streets of Seattle. He catches up to Davis and hits him, upset over the death of his younger brother. His friend Connie tries to soothe him. The scene shifts to his brother's funeral. From the behavior of his brother's wife, it becomes clear that Jack wasn't there for his brother when he was needed. Doreen, Jack's niece, leaves her father's funeral. After the funeral, Jack meets Eddie, a friend and colleague of Ritchie, his deceased brother. Jack asks Eddie about Ritchie. Eddie tells Jack that Ritchie hardly ever drank and would never have driven under the influence. He also assures Jack that Ritchie wouldn't have been involved in any illegal activities. Jack attempts to console Doreen, but she rejects his efforts as they don't have a close familial relationship. Curious, Jack approaches a woman named Geraldine, who's vague and mysterious about her connection to Ritchie. She mentions knowing him from a bar, and then departs. After the ceremony back at home, Jack continues to question the mourners and well-wishers about his brother's fate, which annoys Ritchie's widow, Gloria. Meanwhile, Doreen leaves home. Outside, Jack assures his niece that he will be there for her and will stay in a hotel for the weekend. Doreen suspects something happened to her father because he didn't drink and drive, but she doesn't share her suspicions with Jack. Fletcher, Jack's boss, advises him to return to work. His friend Connie also tells him that he can no longer cover for him and that he should return to work. The situation is complicated because Audrey, Fletcher's girlfriend, is having a secret relationship with Jack. However, Jack decides to stay and investigate the matter. After a while, Jack visits Gloria's house to check on them, as he has found out that his brother was not involved in any illegal activities. However, Gloria deflects his question, criticizing him for not being there for his brother when he was alive and accusing him of always causing trouble. Jack visits Brumby, the owner of the bar where Ritchie worked. Brumby's an older man who apologizes for not attending the funeral. He mentions that Ritchie worked for him for 5 years without any issues, and he never noticed Ritchie being drunk or involved in illegal activities. Jack suspects foul play in Ritchie's death. Initially, Brumby is upset as things are changing around him, but later, he provides Jack with the security footage from the night of the incident. Brumby doesn't believe that Ritchie was killed, but he informs Jack that Ritchie was in a relationship with Geraldine, who was connected to a local boss named Cyrus. Jack decides to visit Cyrus's place where he meets him and Geraldine. Jack questions a man named Paice, but he doesn't receive any useful information, so he decides to follow Paice. This leads him to a mansion belonging to a wealthy man named Jeremy, who's now a member of a golf club. Jack manages to gain entry by giving a tip to the security personnel. He encounters Jeremy while he's playing and interrupts him for a conversation. Initially, Jeremy tries to avoid him, but later agrees to go with Jack and discuss his profession. As they drive away, Jack inquires about Jeremy's relationship with Cyrus in a frightening manner. Jeremy's a rich man who made his fortune in the computer industry. He employed Paice to discreetly find attractive women for him at Cyrus, aiming to maintain a professional and spotless image. However, Cyrus is now forcing Kinnear to manage Paice's adult websites. Jeremy, feeling concerned, contacts him to find a solution, as he needs things to be sorted out and wants to distance Jack from the situation as it's causing him distress. Unable to obtain any clear answers, Jack returns to his room and makes phone calls to Audrey. He plans to leave Las Vegas with her when he returns, but she's reluctant because her job is with his boss, and she pauses the conversation because Fletcher needs her. Jack spent the evening walking with Gloria, who is upset due to her strained relationship with her daughter. They felt like strangers to each other, but it was clear that there was more to the relationship than meets the eye. Later, Jack returned to his room and meticulously reviewed surveillance footage from Brumby's club. He then visited the club and met Eddie to find Geraldine's home. During the drive, he also inquired about Doreen. Upon arriving at Geraldine's home, he discovered their relationship and Ritchie's desire to move to New York with him. Ritchie was ready to divorce, but she couldn't leave because her life was rooted here. That night, she was at the bar to bid him farewell, and when they left, he was quite intoxicated. Later, Jack went out and met Trophy, who appeared to give him a plane ticket. However, when he dropped it, a fight suddenly broke out. As they left, Jack followed Trophy in a rush. Miraculously, he avoided a collision with a truck, but shortly after, Trophy crashed into a building. It was then that Jack discovered who had sent him to Trophy. Suddenly, Jack shows up at Brumby's bar and learned that his brother had indeed borrowed money from Brumby, but his death is directly linked to Cyrus. After a few punches, Cyrus denies any involvement with Ritchie, claiming his death was an accident and that he's now a businessman, leaving Jack alone. Back at the hotel, Doreen was waiting for Jack. Initially, she wanted to refuse, but feeling hungry, they decided to go to a restaurant for some food. While eating, they chatted about their lives and experiences and had a good time. She asked Jack about his job and told him that she learned from her mother that he's a gambler. On their way home, they both expressed a wish that Ritchie was still with them and speculated that he was murdered by someone rather than dying in an accident. Upon arriving home, Jack noticed the door was open. He instructed Doreen to wait in the car while he cautiously entered the house. Someone was on a phone call, and suddenly a gunshot was fired at him. Miraculously, he was unharmed. As he climbed the stairs, someone escaped, and Gloria was slightly injured. An officer arrived at the scene, but they were clueless about who was behind it and why it was happening. Jack offers to take them to his place, but Gloria asks him to leave them alone. She believes all the trouble is because of him and decides to stay with her mom for a while. That night, Doreen comes to the hotel to stay with Jack. He assures her mom that she is safe with him and promises to bring her back in the morning. Late at night, Jack goes through Bumby's video disc and discovers a lot about what happened in the bar. The following day, Geraldine brings Jeremy to meet Jack. After their meeting, Jack learns about Ritchie's death and everything that transpired from Jeremy. While he was out, Fletcher called. After a heated argument, Audrey ends her relationship with Jack. Jack tells Fletcher that he's finished with Vegas. Afterward, he reached Gloria's house and began looking for the disc. Eventually, he located it inside of a cookie jar. While watching its contents, he made a shocking revelation. It turned out that Cyrus was involved in creating amateur adult films that exploited young women who were drugged and sexually assaulted by Eddie and Geraldine. One of the videos even featured Doreen as one of the victims. On his way to his room, Jack encounters Connie and another gangster who had been sent to confront him. However, Jack manages to avoid them in the elevator. In the room, he finds a letter from Doreen stating that she's on the terrace. He finds her there and tells her that he's about to leave. He reassures her that she is a special girl and offers her comfort and advice. Doreen then explains everything. Jack assures her that none of it was her fault and commends her for being so strong despite going through such a horrific experience. It turns out that Geraldine had called him and revealed that Doreen was Ritchie's daughter. She had given the video disc to Ritchie, but Ritchie was murdered and it was made to look like an accident before he could take it to the police. Geraldine begs for forgiveness for what happened to Doreen. She warns Jack that Paice is going to come kill her, but Jack arrives too late and finds her dead. Jack embarks on a mission of revenge. He goes to the bar to find Eddie, but Eddie isn't there. Brumby tries to soothe Jack and tells him that he's aware of everything. Next, Jack goes to Eddie's apartment to question him. Eddie informs Jack that Cyrus is at Kinnear's. In response, Jack throws Eddie off the balcony, resulting in his death. Eventually, Connie locates Jack at Eddie's apartment, which leads to a car chase. Connie is forced off the road, resulting in a violent crash and presumably killing the mobsters. At Jeremy's house, Jack confronts Cyrus, who asserts that Jeremy is responsible for Ritchie's murder. Jack tries to hit Cyrus from behind, but Cyrus sees him in a reflection and avoids the hit. Cyrus then beats Jack to the ground, remarking that Ritchie put up more of a fight than Jack did, indirectly admitting his involvement in Ritchie's death. Cyrus then leaves Jack and joins a group of women on the busy dance floor. Covered in blood, Jack rises and trails Cyrus onto the dance floor. He tells Cyrus that he should finish what he started. Cyrus concurs. He attempts to land a surprise punch on Jack, but Jack knocks him down with a single punch before savagely beating Paice to death. Jack then draws his gun and aims it straight at Cyrus's face. Jack faces Jeremy, who admits that he only instructed Cyrus to retrieve the disc from Ritchie, not to kill him. He reveals that Cyrus and Brumby were the ones who committed the murder. Jack decides to spare Jeremy's life. In a parking lot, Jack catches Brumby trying to steal the disc from his car. Brumby confesses his part in the murder and warns Jack that if he kills him, Jack will have to spend the rest of his life on the run. As Brumby starts to walk away, Jack shouts out to him. Brumby doesn't turn around, and Jack shoots him in the back. After avenging his brother, Jack, now clean-shaven, meets Doreen for the last time at Ritchie's grave. He tells her that he needs to leave for some time. He reminds her that she's a unique individual before they bid each other farewell. Jack then gets into his car and unfolds a map that shows the way to Las Vegas. And with that, the movie ends.